Oh, I gotta go get those. Hang on. What's up, dudes? How y'all doing? There we go. Now it's connecting. So today we have a BMW. We're going to do all the sides and the rear again. We're doing 35 all the way around, and you may notice right over there. There's this hot little cart that is all set up, and I got Jack putting together the other one. So we're going to have carts on both sides. What's it called? There we go. Let's change this over to my... Why can't I hear anything? That's not good. Oh, well, hang on one second. I'll figure it out in a minute. What's up? Lucky, Stream, Lambert, Eric, Daniel, Scott, Texas. What's up? Easy money with Easy Car. I haven't heard that in a minute. My favorite window tinter to learn from. What's up? What's up, dudes? Uncle Matt. Yeah, seriously, what the hell happened to this? Stream. Oh, let me try deselecting it. Sometimes that fixes it. And then I hear good. Well, I don't hear you guys, though. That's the problem. So if I don't hear anything, then then we got a real problem. Where's my Twitch channel? There we go. That was it. Switch it. All good to go now. Do you use glass aid for front windshield as well? Absolutely. Anywhere you think you're going to score the glass. So the two biggest areas, back window and front windshield. Absolutely. Did my first sedan back window. I need a side swipe. Did it with an Orange Crush and big hands. That and a bulldozer for sure. Do you ever think of putting a lift in your shop? No, not for window tinting. It might be handy. That's rather than sitting down, raising the car up. That'd be something else. But I wouldn't have any other reason to use it. If the triage isn't in my country, I can use the Easy Reach. Yeah, the Easy Reach is awesome. My only gripe about it is it starts to scratch faster. So it's just the material that it's made out of wears out a little bit quicker. So if you keep them, some people say you can sand them, so just get some high grit sandpaper and try that out. Because once they start to rough up, they scratch way faster than a triage does. But Easy Reach I used for years before triage was around. Those are great. I still use them too. Sometimes using a Titan for the back window helps me a lot. Maybe I'll have to give it another go. I have it hanging up here. I have it like right there. I just never liked it. But that was also when they made it in like the rubber in two pieces. Now it's all one molded piece. But I thought I would like it. It's like a giant Conqueror, and I didn't like it. But I am not you. So there's people that tell me about the, God, what's it called? Triage's Reach? Yeah, I don't like the Reach. I don't like the Reach either. They came out with a green thing to shave down your tools. Not sure what the name it is. Maybe you have it in your arsenal. I don't know. Is it... Do you know what the name of it is? That new green thing to shave down your tools. Actually, I don't know. I know they have the Smooth It for the Tri-Edge, but that's been around for a long time. That's green, though. I got the worst back window tint removal in the world. Now I'm struggling to remove the film from the brake light tools. I use the steamer. Awesome. Any tips? Scrape it. That's like, you'll sit there for hours, and if that's what you signed up for, then man, I don't envy that situation. If you got a brake light in the way, then you gotta remove it. Removals are just not fun. Yep, I'd be in that same boat. I don't have... I wish I had a trick up my sleeve to make a removal that much easier. You can either bag it and try and get it to peel, but I swear, once they're all, like, blistery thin, you're just scraping it off. I'm afraid to scratch the film with Easy Reach, but I can't find Tri-Edge in my country. That's no fun. I know some will ship internationally, like, no problem. Sun Distributing is really good for that, but doesn't mean the shipping's not going to be expensive. International is always expensive, unfortunately. We're spoiled here. I didn't realize how much more tinting products were here than, like, almost anywhere else. We have some really good stuff here. There's quite a bit that still comes from, like, China and other countries. But Tri-Edge, Fusion, those are American tools. Like, they're just small, I mean, bigger operations now, but, like, they're still pretty niche and whatnot. Like, family-owned, privately run, like, nothing crazy, no big corporation there, just good tool makers, man. I'm surprised I haven't seen that with international as much. Like, literally, they find mold companies. Some of them do it completely in-house. You also have, like, Pro Tools now. There's a lot of them, they just develop the molds here, and then they make the stuff. Anybody could do it. It just obviously costs money to do. All right, so we got a BMW to tint, and we also got a couple of new toys to play around with. So Jack's finishing up this cart, and I picked up a couple carts. So been talking a little bit about making things more efficient. Let's put this back in its holder, huh? So yeah, it's real simple. It's just got a spot for some rags, clean, dirty. It's got a drawer. These are the back window tools, blades, and, you know, just some little odds and ends. Basically anything and everything that I walk around from one side of the car to the other is going to be on both these carts. They're going to stay on opposite sides. They're going to have the exact same stuff. Hopefully at all times, and I won't keep mix and matching them. So that's going to be like my own problem to deal with. So heat gun, sprayer, and then obviously my main tools, they don't need to sit on both sides. Those are always on me. So I don't know. That was kind of the idea with that cart there, but that cart is just a little bit too big. It's a little bulky. I put too much stuff on it, and then it doesn't have swivel casters on the left side too. So that's what's nice about this. I could probably order some for that, but I can literally pull this my way. I can spin it around. It's just a simple tool cart, nothing crazy. I just want it set up. I think that's the magic there, is just having it perfectly set up to make my life convenient, so I won't have to literally walk around the car 500 times looking for one thing, which I usually do. I'm trying to fix that. So I need to get some tape too. So we're gonna see how much I got left for this car. Probably have Jack get some today. Oh, the Smooth It. Yeah, that's this guy right here, actually. I don't use these very often. I haven't really trained myself to do it. But they put, they've got a couple of them. There's a piece of fabric here that the maker of the Tri-Edge, you wet this, and you can do this, and it'll help keep the Tri-Edge nicer for much longer and prevent scratching. So it's something that he personally uses every time before he goes to tint a window, because, you know, he is very much a user of his own tools, and he ran into the same problem everybody else does. As, you know, any tool starts to wear out, especially when it's made of, you know, it's a very smooth plastic, it's a special plastic, but eventually grinding it into the seals and stuff like that naturally starts to wear anything out. So just a way to keep everything going longer, and especially when you have like films that are a little bit more prone to scratching, they have weak scratch coats. It's perfect for that. Let me scoot this down just a little bit. I think that should be better. Probably a little bit more than that. But yeah, so we got a 3 Series here, which is pretty cool. This is nice and clean. He is, I think, moving tomorrow. So this was, if he wasn't getting in today, he was going to have to get it tinted in Florida. So I'm glad we got this in today. But I know some people I can send him to. So we're doing all the sides and the rear. And I just got a feeling he's going to eventually want the windshield done. So I'm going to refer him. I'm going to definitely give him some phone numbers. One more. Set that there. I'm going to see how the carpet shield sticks to these door panels, I think. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not. Lately, more often than not, it's been bad. So let me see. I need a whole bunch of this stuff too. Let me see. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's super great on that one. So I will use whatever last of my tape that I have. We'll be able to cover this up. And I'll have Jack go get some more. Much better. Stay. Thank you. at the end of this one, I think. I bought so many when I ran the first class. I brought like, I swear, probably like $100 worth of this tape. Now it's all gone. This is hiding somewhere. I do that sometimes. Oh, shoot, is it done?
Done.
Heck yeah. Thank you, sir. Heck is that? There we go. Look at that. Cart number 2. Looks good, thank you. Oh no, I was gonna say, I think this one closes easier. No, they close the same. That's the same. All right. Well, so now we get to set this up identically to the other one. So this one, for now, we're gonna put that there. I'm gonna grab those boxes. Yes, thank you, sir. Oh, she's stuck. Let's move this down. All right. So I picked these up for this cart here. So these are little magnetic holders. Coffee is always a priority, so this isn't a great, like, it's a good spot to stick to, but the side kind of gets in the way a little bit. So I've opted to move these now, for to the back, putting them up a little bit higher. Great, right in here. For now, that way it doesn't butt into anything, and boom, can wheel this around without anything falling over. I just wasn't sure, so I might pick up a couple more of these. If I like one better than the other, it'll likely stay this way. So we'll put that on the other side. That's a good size for, like, if you're gonna put a bunch of tape rolls this way. It's actually a really good width, and you can stack them up side by side. I got hooks coming too, so yeah. You know what?
Keeping them?
Yeah, let's keep the boxes for just these ones, just in case I decide to swap a couple out.
Gotcha.
But how much were they? That's a good question. 15. They were 15 each. So, really not bad. The carts were, I mean, that's part of it. They sell you a relatively inexpensive cart, and then they give you some options to, like, because you can get a, like, magnetic power strip, color matching, all that. The carts, I think, were, what were they, like $120 each? Yeah. So we got clay bars. Let me grab some more. I'm sad I don't have any extra magnetic hooks for today. Those are coming, I think, on Saturday. So we have a couple clay bars. I think I'm going to stick a piece of tint. These are extra rolls of glass aid that are hanging around. I'm going to put those there for now. This bulldozer. So we're going to set this up the same. Just hate doing old cars no matter how many times they're clean. Sometimes there'll still be trash in the corner, especially rear windshield. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's no fun. Anything older is going to have its own set of challenges. That's one reason I like taping so much. It'll make an old card much easier. But I had some problems with like a 2001 Focus that was pretty gnarly. Okay, so we're going to do this. I know I don't know, for now, we're just going to set it up the same. I got to find, like, all my extras. Like, side swipes, so we got another dry shrink prep baggie that's going to go on there. Ooh, we got another soak rope. Cool. How do I set this up? For now, something like that. Yes. No, that's not how that went. Whatever. That works for now. Sprayer's gonna go on the other side. Heat gun. Glass cleaner. Ooh, this one's almost empty. That kind of sucks. All right, well, that'll go there for now. Slowly putting a list together of extra things that I need. Oh, I got more cans. I'm not crazy. Okay, cool. We got that. Would you recommend reverse rolling for vehicles that dirty? Not on the back window. I still Frankenstein them. It's really about getting the glass clean and just trying to avoid all the panels. Like, I did a work truck in the last stream, and then I did a... Oh, is this full? Oh, heck yeah. This is a whole bottle of alcohol here. We're going to leave that there. Sweet, so I don't forget it. Awesome. What else do we need? So, screwdrivers and stuff, I only got one of those. The hooks, I'm going to wait on that. Are you wanting to have a card on both sides? Yes. Yep, we're setting this up so I have one on both sides. So that's going to go over there. Go through one by one. So we got tape. I need an extra roll of tape. I need some extra screwdrivers. My light. Why do you stop using dryer sheets? It's kind of a trade-off. I use them, and sometimes I don't. Dry shrink prep. For shrinking, I don't necessarily think that it's like when both are set up, they're gonna take basically the exact same amount of time. Dry shrink prep is gonna be a little bit cleaner, and it sets up faster, which I really appreciate that. So when I'm running the classes and stuff, everything moves a little quicker. Plus, I don't have to use dryer sheets instead anymore. So getting that stuff on your skin, you hear things. Oh yeah, blades. So we're gonna do some blades. I'm gonna put those. Where do we put them? Like here. And again, I need hooks for the side, but I have hooks there. Hooks are coming, I think, on Saturday. Where's my green? My mean green. There we go. This guy. I should have like 100 side swipes laying around somewhere. And for the life of me, they got to be sitting around here somewhere. There's definitely one with a blue blade. Those are ones that I tend to just miraculously lose. I don't know how it happens. Yeah, I've heard that too. Oh, it's there. Oh my god, how am I gonna get that? There's a side swipe there. Hang on. Ugh, I gotta run over to the other side. There is a... I don't even know how this happened. Well, I kind of do. Ah, there it goes. Yes. Have you thought about Google Glass? Google Glass, I think, is long dead, though. It's not coming back. No, there's some, like, interesting head-mounted cameras and stuff. The GoPro seems to be the best at anything. But, well, however a company makes something simple, though. I always appreciate that. All right, so we need a scrubber. We got one here. See, I just set things on tables. And then I have to, why does this keep spinning? It's like if I look down and I whip my head, we do a barrel roll. Okay, so that'll be fine for now. Yeah. Thank you. So this one's empty. We need more tape. Yeah, it's Jack. He's helping out. He's helping out a lot. He just put these together this morning. I had a couple of appointments. I didn't have time to do them completely. And I would have been very sad because now I have a full car when I want to test them out. And look at that. Now they're all together. Like, these are all the things that I just don't have time for. I have an idea. I should do that. And then I forget about it. But now all those things, it's like, oh, hey, I can have him do them. Didn't see that one coming. Wow, really? Is this one going to have a hard time grabbing on there? Okay, well, that's not something I thought would be the case. So we'll do that, and then we'll have a heat gun. So I'm getting a couple heat gun holders, too. So heat gun magnetic holders, those will go on the side. But for now, we're going to set it there. We're going to put that there. We got that, everything on the back. Oh, razor blades. We need another thing of razor blades. What is up with the spinning? Do a barrel. I don't know if it needs a software update or a reset or what. I don't think I've seen it spin quite that many times in a row. So whenever I look down, it needs to be like a little bit more vertical, I think. I don't know. But cool. That should be pretty well set up for now. 'Cause yeah, trying to figure out like the best spot to put heat gun cords, sprayer hoses, and those are the only things that are going to get in the way. Oh, the rags. The rags is the last thing. Why don't you post on Instagram? Instagram doesn't do anything for me. Instagram is a lot of work. Out of all the platforms, we put a fair amount of effort into Instagram and just saw very little return from it. Instagram is like really effective for like some creators and some companies. Like what I'm talking about when we were doing stuff for Detroit Tint Studio literally every day, and we didn't see like anything off of it. We hardly saw like any interaction, and it's looking for more stuff like Reels and whatnot. So knowing what I know about TikTok, taking that over to Instagram might be worth the time. I texted you on Instagram and I got no response. Yeah, that sounds about right. You can ask here. I get a lot of messages. I'm just not able to get to all of them. That's one reason why I do these live streams too. If you have questions, now is the best time to ask them, because it gets really challenging to type everything back in an exact response. Like I'm having problems with installing a door window. Like, I could sit there for probably about half an hour typing out all these things. Or I can make videos. Videos is just way better. So those are cool too. This was one of the ideas. So like, clean rags, dirty rags. Perfect. Why am I getting fingers in the bottom of my tint every time, even though I heat it before placing? I know I talked about this in the last stream too. I actually went over that quite a bit. Okay, so let's put this to work. We need a scrubber, and we need this, and a sprayer, and a rag. So now we learn if this was actually worth it or not. So either it wasn't quite shrunk enough to where it's flat at the bottom, or you just need to squeegee all the way down into the seal. So I would see some people basically butt up their tint or like tuck the tint into the seal, but they would only squeegee up to the seal. You got to run a card all the way down into the seal. I could have that set up and I'd still misplace my tools all the time. Oh yeah, me too. That was the idea with that toolbox. So what I got to stop myself from doing is if I take this past halfway, I got to remember to bring it back. The idea is to basically not cross over halfway with anything that goes in those boxes. Yeah, so literally typing that out, I'd spend like 10, 15 minutes rewording what I'm trying to say, and then at the end of the day, it's like, it's easy for me to explain. I accidentally ordered a 36-inch roll. I'm scared it's too small. Nope, 36 inch is great. We're going to be using that on this back window. 36 will cover the vast majority of back windows. And you can split it in half on a lot of cars. It's a perfect size rolls. There's very few back windows and front windshields that need a 40. You may see me use a 40 on most cars at this point, depending on the film that I'm using it. Usually it's the availability of the rolls. I always stock 36 24s. Well, a 20 by 24. Well, I guess it just depends on where you're ordering. So if it's a 20-inch tall roll by 24 feet, or if it's a 24-inch roll by 20 feet, there'll be a couple little differences there. If it's 24 inches tall, you'll be able to cover probably about 2 sets of doors, maybe 3 sets of doors. That'll be on pretty much any truck. It'll fit. So yeah, now we can grab this. We can spray it. And then, so this needs to then stay here. Because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put 2 dry shrink prep bags on the same side, or if I take it, I gotta return it. I'm gonna try and just be strict in the beginning. And then we can throw this back there. Cool. So that will be the back window. I can also do the quarter windows now too. See, where'd my roll go? Did I put it on that table, really? Where'd you get the dry shrink prep? Google dry shrink prep. you will find a website called dryshrinkprep.com. So yeah, when I was mobile, I would have one cart in the corner with everything on it. That's fine. That's totally fine. The hard challenge for me is I just want to stop walking around the car 500 times. So now instead of having one cart to put everything on, I can put it on that table, I can put it over there, and I lose a lot of stuff. So this is more for me wanting, with so much extra space to leave stuff. It's too much. I need to stick to separating things on the carts and not walking around the car 500 times looking for one thing. It'll save time. Okay. So now we need a roll of film. Everything is cleaned. I should have a spot on a cart for the key too, I suppose. All right, I think that's on. It's not losing because you find it most of the time. Okay, it's wasting time. Got my first roll of 35. Are people okay with normally doing 35% all around if that's all you have available? Not exactly. You're gonna want, oh, I can use the other one. You're gonna very quickly want an extra shade. Or two. 20 and 5. You want 35, 20, and 5. Because having somebody, like, you know, pulling in a client, they just expect to be able to pick out, you know, have more than one option available. I mean, maybe you'll get lucky and you can just recommend, I only got 35 and that's okay. But you're really hurting yourself right in the beginning on that. You're going to want to pick up just a couple extra shades at least, 20 and 5 for sure. Okay, so this is all getting done in, speaking of 35, this is all getting done in 35% ceramic, which, do we do a short roll on this too? Or should we just do a long roll? I suppose. One thing I'm definitely not going to have on both sides is 2 stacks of film. That's too much. This is for tool carts. I got a lot of these. We can put some of these back. These are for the classes. I got 5 stools and we've hardly used them. Wow, that didn't go near as far. It's what I thought it would. Is Tint Depot dyed film better than Lexan film? Yeah, the superior charcoal for sure. The thing is, it's clear. I mean, their carbon that matters gonna be better. Just depends on how budget you're actually shopping. I've heard better things about the Pure Max, but I haven't tried it yet, so take that at face value. Where do you get your tint from? GeoShield? Tint stuff. Tint stuff. Oh, do I not have it open? I might not even have it open. Well, that's a problem. Which one would be better learn shrinking? Definitely, voice attack? Might not be open. There. Tint stuff. Hey, there it is. Sweet. So, superior charcoal for sure. I bought Carbon Pure Max Lexan film. Any thoughts? Why? Why you? That was somebody that came here for the class. I've heard better things about it. I haven't tried it. Anything below that is just a pain in the ass to shrink. It's just I don't usually catch usernames, but I saw yours. No, give it a try. So you came out to the class. You had a lot of shrinking practice. You know what you're looking for. That's good. What drives me crazy is people that are just learning how to tint, and then they buy one of the least expensive Lexan films, and then they wonder why they have problems. I say this over and over and over again. Inexpensive carbon films and inexpensive ceramic films are annoying to shrink because they just require a lot more heat in certain areas. So they start to shrink pretty quickly, and then the farther out you go, it slows down pretty rapidly. And then it just causes people to have a bunch of problems. So I would advocate for a cheaper dyed film any day of the week. You don't even have to buy an expensive dyed film. Like literally, a cheap dyed film is gonna shrink way easier. It's just the thing, like carbon is like, that's the part that makes it harder to shrink. Same thing with ceramic. That's what makes it a little harder to shrink. Especially with like the early versions. They were kind of rubbery. They were slow to shrink. They shrank relatively smooth. You just got to know where to put the heat, and it was easy to put too much heat in one spot and really screw up your shrink. Where a dyed film, like you'll watch all my videos, you see me point a heat gun at it, and everything just goes very smooth and quickly. Not all film, definitely not all film shrinks the same. So you don't have to use Geo, you don't have to use exactly what I'm using. That's never what I'm saying. It's just be a little bit careful of what you save your money on, because it'll cost you more with the amount of film that you're going to strap trying to learn how to shrink that shit. I'm looking into getting the Ply Black from Tint Depot. You recommend? You know, at this point, if you're going to get a dyed film, try and get a 1.5 mil. And from what I've seen, prices have gone up. So either get like the 5-year dyed film, or go to Sun Distributing, and you can get get their Helios Orbit, which is going to be a much better grade of film anyways. It's going to be right in line with the Superior Charcoal. It's going to be right in line with Pro Classic. It's going to shrink really well. It's going to look good. It's going to last. I think they're selling that for like $175 a roll. So, versus, I think Pro Classics gonna be like $225 for like a 36 by 100-foot roll. So if you want essentially very similar film. I would look in that direction at this point. The other direction I would go is maybe going all the way to, like, down on the food chain to, like, a really, really cheap dyed film. I don't know the thickness of T-View on, like, Amazon, but I have shrunk some dyed films off of Amazon. And, like, seriously, it shrank awesome. I just don't know, like, I wouldn't expect them to last, because that's the thing about cheap dyed films is, like, they're gonna fade fast. So great for practice and learning what you need to learn. That's what they're for. And then get something better for what you're installing on your customer's car. Some people say to practice with what you're actually going to install. It's definitely preferred if you have the budget for it. But I understand, like, a couple $100 on literally scrapping film is a lot of money for some people. So do what you can. Okay, so let's put this on this piece. And we'll separate. Okay, back to the other side. Probably another thing that we're gonna have to do is a glass border on this side. I just don't know where to mount it. I want to change this whole space a little bit. This. Couldn't you call right before I pick up a roll? Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? For... Gotcha. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I meant to get back to you. You're looking for glass aid? Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll shoot you an email back. I have some pricing for you. I've just been really tied up. I'm sorry it's been a little bit since I've gotten back to you, though. Yeah, the 200 rolls and like 100 clay bars, I do have those in stock. I can get those out pretty soon. All right, no worries. Bye. That was GDI. I was gonna get Lexan ceramic, but just went with Geo instead because Matt said it's the best. That's good. Oh shit, it's Friday. What time is it? I should have him run by maybe Home Depot. I think he just left. Let me see if Home Depot has house wrap tape. I don't know if they do. They might though. But yeah. Just be careful what you get out there. I never, like, if you ever want to try something else, I mean, by all means, you're free to use anything that you want to use. I like Geo. They're good for my business. They treat everybody right that calls them, which I really appreciate because there's a lot of arrogant companies out there too. But there's lots of companies to pick film from. So you'd be good with a lot of companies. There's just definitely reasons why things work really well using Geo. Let me see. Canon. I might have to make somebody make another run. Home Depot. Let's see if they've got it in stock. What is it called? House wrap tape or sheathing tape. Ugh. Utica? Oh, that's out of the way. Everbuilt. I think this is Home Depot's brand. See, that's why I get Lowe's tape typically. See, Lowe's. And then if you look up how... There's just a few things like... Oh my God, it's more expensive now. What the... It used to be $10 a roll. Fuck, now it doesn't matter. Oh my God. Inflation has hit the Lowe's tape. $14. Too many tinters are buying Lowe's tape now. That's what happened. All right, well, I guess it's time to tell them to go get Tyvek tape. Because what is it, slightly wider too? I just wish it was white instead of blue. I like the white better. All right. 1 sec. Lowe's, what are you doing to me? It's only $4. No, I know. It's just when you're buying a lot of it. So I'll tell him to pick up a few rolls. Oh shit, he doesn't have the card. Hey, are you near the Home Depot? I know you're going to the post office. I just weren't sure where you were yet. Sweet. Okay, I got a couple things for you to pick up. I'll text you pictures. One of them's going to be house wrap tape, and the other one's going to be some carpet shield, so you'll probably need a cart. Yep, the big plastic rolls, and then the house wrap tape. All right, I'll send. It's different at Home Depot, so I'll send you a picture with the aisle numbers. All right, bye. Look at that. Look how helpful that is. And then, what else do we need? Carpet shield. There's usually a deal if you buy 4 rolls too. Oh my God, it's $43. See, buy 3 or more. So I usually buy like 4 rolls of that shit. Oh my God. What am I doing? Let's see. I forgot to send him with a card. I have to give him a company card. All right. Let's put this back. We'll see. We'll wait to hear back. Sun distributing film, that's good to start off with. Use their Helios Orbit. Oh yeah, we were doing corners, that's right. Let's go finish those up. But yeah, well, he's out at the post office. He can just run by Home Depot and get some stuff. Especially because tomorrow's Saturday. The end of the week snuck up on me. So I've got another job coming in tomorrow. And it's one of those things where now I'm spoiled and I don't want to run to the store. I always forget to run to like those stores. That's one reason I run out. And then I'm like, oh, I'll order. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to wait. So yeah, I'm going to have him run and get that stuff. Cool. Don't they give you better when you buy more? I'm sure they've got some program. Carpet Shield, they give you a little discount over 3 rolls. So I typically buy 4 at a time anyways. Have a couple extra. For the house wrap tape, it just go through more of it. It's not like I'll buy 1 roll. It's I will buy multiple rolls for eternity. I'm just surprised to see it. Like that was one reason I got the Lowe's one, was it was $10 cheaper and convenient for me to pick up. Now it's as expensive as like tuck tape and all the other ones. Inflation, man. Time to give Expel opinion. I mean, Expel's good. You just got to be in their little circle. And you got to only like Expel. But if that works for you, then that'll be fine. You're definitely going to be spending a lot more, too, to be in that circle. But, you know, if they are what helps your business really grow, then cool. It was worth it. I mean, it would just be a complete pain in the ass, though, if I ever recommended them to you guys. Is anybody here that, or a lot of people here that want to use them, don't qualify. What's a killer? Uh-oh. We've already jumbled. There you go. There you go. Set that down. Set this down here. Cool. All right. Now, I really shouldn't have a reason to go back over to the other side except for carpet shield. That's it. Once I do that, everything should be on one side and then the other side. So I gotta fill that back up and then we'll be good. See, find a way to put it on the cart, and then I'd be like way happy, but I don't think it'll ever work out that way. This guy over here, look at that. I like that. This will last for all about 1 or 2 cars. Because inevitably I'll go back to misplacing things. No. No can do. And then we need this guy. Gotta open a new one. Ooh, where's my scrap film? Should we put ceramic on this? Or carbon? Actually, I kind of want to do carbon. Carbon's got a good glue that will potentially pull clean. Where's that roll of carbon? This one. Yeah, 35 looks light when it's only 35. Wait till the rest of it is all done. Could you use alcohol instead of soapy water for small edges that don't want to stick? You can add a little alcohol to your slip solution. Honestly, just use less soap. So you can kind of have a combo mix there. You can keep a spray bottle nearby with a much less slippy solution. Where do we put this? Because there's like annoying screws in weird spots. Maybe we can just do that for now. Put it on this side, put it up front. Where do I put this? Let's do it right here. That seems good. Stuck, glass aid stuck back in the box? Yeah. They'll all do that. All synthetic clays like to stick to plastic. Just try and peel it out as best as you can. I love the clay bars, but they seem to stick to a whole bunch of stuff. So one thing that they don't stick as much to is, believe it or not, tint or wax paper, that type of stuff. So I used to even keep them on like a damp rag in a little metal jar. Eventually, like, especially if it's warmer, they just kind of naturally melt and stick to so many things. But something that's been more consistent is like here, if I set it on a piece of tint, what I'm hoping is overnight it's going to cling to the box, and then I can always pull it clean off of there, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So we'll see. You're welcome. Yeah, it's been a problem for me. I even tinted like the inside of the case, and that was actually a pretty decent solution too. It might even be the liner. It'll. I would try both sides. I'd try the tint side if so I'm gonna stick that too, and if it doesn't seem to like want to let go, I'm just gonna keep a liner. I'm gonna keep a liner there.
LKB Pythons super chatted $5. What's good, my man? Remember these? Philly cheesesteak or bacon cheeseburger? Haha. Love your hustle.
LKB, what's up? Thank you for the 5. I do remember those. Philly cheesesteak or bacon cheeseburger? Ooh, I'll probably go with Philly cheesesteak. I tend to just get more cheeseburgers. So whenever I see a Philly steak, I go for that over a cheeseburger, because cheeseburgers are way more common. But for today, I'll pick the Philly cheesesteak. Thank you. You can send that here. I think I gotta take the U.S. General logo off of it. I know I got some extra Tint Wiz stickers. Maybe a Detroit Tint Studio sticker. Geo? I think I got Geo stickers around. I gotta put some stickers. Oh, and some distributing. I gotta put some fun stickers on that. Oh, that gets sprayed. I guess that makes sense. It always works one way in my head, and then when you actually start using something, that's when you notice these little differences. Like, oh yeah, there's a lot of spray that goes there. right centered. Still going farther? A little bit. Really? I guess so. Get that close. Good. Yep, deeper front edge, that's for sure. Spray that. These would be nice for the classes too. I actually, it's kind of like an afterthought. But having somewhere to put like a lot of these back window tools and stuff, so when we're working on them, we got little efficiency carts here. That'd be nice. Have you ever had a super picky customer that pick out the smallest stuff spec and want it redone? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I redid it. See, you try and approach it in the nicest way possible. You're like they don't know window tinting. They just know that they came to get a really nice job and it doesn't matter how much they paid. They just like, hey, they paid for a job, they expect it to be good. So there's always like a reasonable level of quality, and most people are very understanding. Every once in a while, you might get somebody that's not. So you just do your best to manage the situation. You explain like, hey, I could tint this 100 times. Like, you're like, oh, I see the problem. I'm gonna try and make it better. And then you also pad that with window tint as perfect as I try and be. There's always going to be something that you can find in any job, but I'm going to try and make this better for you. Because the thing is, you usually can put a little bit more focus into one window or a situation like that and turn out a better result. But what it also does is it shows the client that you are not trying to just brush them off, because that's what most people feel like when they bring a car back. And I think it's always difficult for anybody, well, for most people, like if they're bringing something back, they genuinely don't like it. You know, like you, all of us, we've got the luxury of taking stuff back to the store just because, like, oh, I bought it and I don't feel like keeping it, or, oh, it wasn't quite what I thought. With services, it's a little different because there's a lot of labor that goes into that stuff. So it depends on the company that you're working with. So if, let's say you pick a color out for your house and you get it painted and you don't like it, well, tough. Maybe a company will work with you and change it, but if there's some problems with the paint job, they'll come out and they'll fix it, right? That's what most, or at least most good companies are going to do. You don't know all the ins and outs of painting. So you're paying a company to do a good job, and when you can obviously see that there's a subpar job, you don't feel as good about the job. But if they come out and they try and take care of it for you, you feel better about it. So I don't think most people like to bring their cars back with any types of issues. They want it to be good, and it just wasn't as good. So then they bring it back to you, and they, you know, if you show that, hey, yeah, I'm going to address these concerns, I'm going to do as good of a job as I can, then everybody's going to be a lot happier. So I wouldn't. I always try and resolve a situation, even if it's really small. It's like it's their car. They obviously care about it, and they're the ones that have to live with it, not you. So it doesn't cost you a lot except your time, really, in taking care of that situation. So that's one way you get a lot better clients too over time, doing stuff like that. It might not feel like it, especially not off the first job. But those types of things, they go a long way. They really do. It's something I always have to remind myself of too. But this is why I opt to try and charge more and take longer with my jobs. There's people that go the other way and they just turn out more work, and it's like, well, I don't have time to put this much time to make this car look perfect, and I'm not charging enough. They should understand that. No client's gonna understand that. The client's gonna bring you their car because you're either convenient, you had good reviews, or you were first on their list and you could get them in right away. And from there, they're just gonna expect that, hey, you're a tint shop. You're in business for a reason. I'm going to bring you my car. You're going to do a good job. And however your business is set up, you got to live up to what they expect. So what really sucks is just when people really underprice themselves and don't give themselves an opportunity to put out good work. And then it's just not a good way of running business. You always feel like you're under pressure. You got to do a lot of cars to make it make sense. And people ain't gonna be happy if the work's not good. And then it's just gonna take you longer to fix it. Do I still have the battery? Oh my god, why do I still have the battery on this thing? Can you drop a link for the yellow microfiber towels? They're Costco towels. I do not have a link for them. Costco seem to be kind of the sweet spot for towels. You can get a bunch of them, and they're good enough. Like, they're pretty decent quality. When you wash any microfiber, just throw them in the water. Like, I just use regular detergent, but don't use fabric softeners or dryer sheets when you dry them, and they'll stay nice for a long time. Just use, like, medium heat. Heat and fabric softeners will ruin your towels. But yeah, I've been really happy with them. I've also been using, like, I've got that Sprayway glass cleaner right there. I've been using like an alcohol water mix for glass cleaning lately. Like literally just like alcohol and water. Somebody can tell me if that's really wrong to use, but it's kind of awesome. Everything's just streak free really quickly. I've never really dived into the world of glass cleaners. As weird as that might sound. I've always just used my slip solution to clean. But it stays greasy. Like, it stays a little greasy, so it takes a lot longer to get all the streaks out. The Rag Company. Mm-hmm. Yep, those are really, really good ones, too. When I have too much money to spend, I'll stock up on those. Like I really like the Drive Me a River waffle weave ones. It's like $20 for a 4-pack, and they're like oversized. It's really not a bad deal. Like, they're nice towels. Or at least at the time, that's what they were. They might have gone up. But we go through a lot of rags on a car. Like, they just get wet really fast. So, like, just having lots of towels around, I think is really helpful to do. Ow. Canon. Ow! I just realized that I've been tinting with this extra battery pack here, like, the entire time. And it makes this too tight, because I never adjusted the strap, so I just have to take that off, and then I should be fine. Love these, love this channel, thank you. You put me on so much game. These live streams are a literal goldmine. Glad to hear it. Oh, this is so much comfier now. Felt like it was pushing into my brain. I detail cars, so I have solid quality ones that last with chemicals and other products used on them. Oh, that's a good point, too. Yeah, I don't know how these will last with, like, lots of chemicals and stuff. There's definitely quality differences, but these versus going to Walmart and just getting a pack of towels from Walmart, like, they're, oh man, they're night and day better. Really cheap microfibers, they tend to just smear water. So for what we do, these work out pretty well. I'll maybe have to go on a towel binge. Get a bunch from there. Oh my god. So these seals are, this is probably where the Easy Reach is gonna shine. Yep. So this seal, it is a little tighter, but it's also like a wedge. I don't know what else to call it, like a wedge style seal. So it's a little blunted at the top, and it's like a big rubber flap that goes like this. So when you're trying to push the shank on it, it doesn't get underneath very easily. That's where something like the Easy Reach is really good for just sneaking inside a tighter seal. There we go. We can get that shank in there too. I also tucked these down a little far too. Probably a little farther than I needed to, but it's a BMW, so hey. It's definitely not gonna hurt. See? I bought some big packs from AutoZone a few years ago that was a really good buy, and they were pretty decent, but now they have something completely different. You know, I noticed that with Costco. Somewhere along the lines, they changed. Their whole tag went from, like, being a thin strip to, like, a thicker one, or a big wide one, and the quality changed. I think they probably downgraded a little bit, but they've been fine enough. But it's just funny. I noticed the same thing with Costco too. I think they always have, you know, like any one of these companies, they always have, like, it's Costco. So some of those things, they need to have staple products that people can go back and get, that keep the prices down and give you a big quantity, and eventually that doesn't make sense. You're like, wow, I got these awesome things for way less. It only works for so long with everything. I'm just gonna roll that out on here for now. That way I can get some quarter windows. Hopefully they're tall enough. But I'm gonna unroll that. I'm gonna get some extra. I'm gonna get some film off of this back window. What tint brands have you tested? I've used a lot of different film brands. I haven't tested a lot of different film brands since I've used ASWF and then Avery and then Geo. Film companies eventually go through changes too, but like started off as a Lumar dealer, played around with a little bit of Suntech, then we'd get lots of samples. So like Max Pro, Matico, lots of, oh wow, these are way big now. And then global, God, there was a whole bunch. Uh-oh, we getting that spam. Why does Patrick not shrink side windows? He doesn't curl them long enough bottom. He's bottom loading. So how are there not fingers? Yeah, so when you're bottom loading a lot of windows, you don't necessarily have to shrink the doors. The biggest reason is because the water has everywhere to like leave. Leaving in the bottom seal still traps water against that bottom edge. But it depends on how aggressive the glue on your tint is and how evenly you squeegee everything out. So he's probably doing everything really quickly, so you don't notice necessarily some of those little things, but he's definitely paying attention to where everything is squeegeeing, how it looks as he's pushing it out, and he's just pushing it out as evenly as he can. And that's going to get rid of the vast majority of the fingers. And if something pops up on the side or the bottom, it's not that big of a touch-up. When you're leaving the seals in, it traps some extra water along the bottom edge. And just the act of tinting the top section and then the bottom, I think naturally forces more stuff to collect at the bottom. And that's why you're going to see more fingers potentially at the bottom. Because you lock in the top and then you don't have a way to squeegee things out anywhere else, where bottom loading you can start in like almost the dead center of that window and work your way completely out. It's just a little bit more even. So if you're, like I said, if your adhesive is strong enough and your soap mix is right, then yeah, you don't have to shrink door windows necessarily. But, you know, it comes at the cost of removing panels. If you're, it's a personal choice thing. If you like taking paneling apart, then maybe bottom loading's for you. It'll make the install easier overall. If you don't like taking stuff apart, then it'll make the install harder, but I didn't have to take anything apart. So there's just trade-offs to both. I know I was surprised when I first heard it. I don't think so. When you're really efficient, shrinking door windows is like a weird, like having to shrink and not having to shrink door windows is like in my opinion, like a weird flex. Like it takes me a minute to go through all the way around the car and shrink all the door windows. So not having to shrink them, I don't really think is a major trade-off. just if you take a while to shrink your door windows, that will save you some time. But, you know, you have to consider the time it took you also to remove the things that are in the way. So when you have the easy seals that pop out, sure, that's real quick and easy. You still got to put them back in. That adds up to a little bit of time. When you got to take apart a door panel, well, it just depends on the door panel. That could potentially take a lot more time. That's the worst. Oh, maybe. This is always tricky. When you have a little... Oh, there we go. Patrick also has a way of dealing with spam. He doesn't block. He clicks to hide user from channel or something. He says that way the stub still counts. You gotta take everyone you can get. I don't know if spam bots subscribe to the channel or not. There's not really a good way to tell. Yeah, on the restream program I use, it just says block. It just says block, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know. YouTube's blocking tools kind of suck. Like it says like block user or hide user from channel or whatever. Like I don't know. It kind of like, or then it times them out for like a short amount of time. You can't set the length. I think Twitch has some better features for that. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Cool. Well, that's one side. I could up my views if I just blocked them. Again, I don't know what they count for. I doubt that it technically counts as a view for a video. If anything, they'd be going to so many channels on an automatic program that it would maybe count against you on some level. Because if somebody clicks on a video and doesn't hang around to watch very much of it, then they just don't serve that video to as many people. But that's such a, like... It's a bad way to look at any video. I was joking. No, you will... That's where I get it real into... I become a total YouTube nerd. I gotta throw stats at you now. Cool. This looks good. I gotta find somewhere for the trash too. That was kind of nice, having like a quick spot to throw the trash. How much is the ceramic? This one's $450. Will you be doing a Tesla soon? I don't have any on the schedule. I was pretty happy. I had a bunch of Model Ys, like, back to back to back. But yeah, I don't have any on the schedule. Those streams are still up, though. Sweet. Are your installs always dust? See, doesn't this look darker now a little bit? So when you're like up here, it looks darker, but then when you squat down and look through it, but realistically, you should have a mix of long vids and short vids on the channel. I bet you make more off the short vids just because most people don't watch the super long. Yep, you're absolutely right. You are 100% correct. I should stop doing live streams altogether. And like literally, it kind of sucks. Channels do really well just off of short videos. Live streams they're I don't know. They're just convenient to make, and they're also more fun. But yeah, just for a channel. That's one reason why I've got. Why isn't it? Yeah, seriously, what the heck? Oh, there we go. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna stop doing lives. I had to take a hard look at my channel and go, what if I did one thing for the next 5 years on YouTube, what would it be? It was live streams. I just enjoy doing them. So whether or not they make total sense for a channel, I like doing them. But yeah, the shorter videos, especially when you get into like the meme shit, like messing around with Walmart films, that last video that I did with the static cling one, that one's starting to do pretty well. Looks like it's starting to pick up traction. I think I picked a good title for it finally. I should have made that a little bigger. Oh, no, don't. Oh, whatever. We'll stick it there, fine. That is the pad. And hopefully it'll peel when I want to change it. But for now, that's where the clay bar goes. How long or short the videos depends on how much you make off of them. Anything over 8 minutes makes more money. But most people tune out after a certain amount of time. So that's where you see so many people do 10 to 12 minute videos. That seems to be the sweet spot for most of them. Unless you have a really interesting thing that takes like a video can be as long as you want it to be. It just has to be able to carry interest. So like when you can take a simple thing and summarize it in 10 seconds, like it's hard to make a long video and people feel that and they skip through the video, they tune out faster. But when you have something that like genuinely carries interest throughout the entire video, people will sit around and watch it. It's just, most things can be summarized in like 10 to 8 to 10 to 12 minutes. But 8 minutes and up gives you mid-roll ads. So you want to be a little bit longer than 8. But the nice thing is YouTube actually kind of, it's supposed to intelligently pick when to show you ads. So like you can put ad breaks in your videos, but it's not just gonna like saturate ad after ad after ad. It'll kind of figure out what the viewer can tolerate. Believe it or not, YouTube's really smart at that. Oh, are your installs always dust and speck free? No. No, you'll be able to point something out that you don't like. That's usually the case with every window. Oh, we almost fell. Yeah, that's usually the case with like every window. If you look close enough. But the thing is, I don't. Let's see, how do I say this? Oh, I don't point anything out like that because once you see it, you don't unsee it. So a tint job should basically give you a giant, like it should be hard to find something. A good tint job is like, is there something there? Yeah, where is it? Okay, let me go hunting for it. Like it should be pretty small. You might have like a couple little things, like a couple specks grouped in the same space. But if you have like a bunch in an area, you're gonna notice. If you're gonna have bigger specks, one here and one here, you'll probably notice those too. Like there's a level to it. But everybody's different. Some people won't notice. Some people won't notice anything. They just get in their car, they say thank you, and they drive off. And then from there, you know, their car gets naturally dirty, everything dries out, and like they're just happy with the work that you provided. If there's something small, it like most people aren't looking uber close to their tint. It should be like finding a needle in a haystack. Yeah, for the most part. Like it should be pretty minimal. Now, when you're new, there's going to be a little bit more than it being really minimal. But it kind of just depends on where the dirt is. And you'd be surprised. There was a lot of students here that were tinting very good windows by the end of the class within a handful of tries. Because there were some quick adjustments that I made with everybody. It's like, don't oversize your pattern. And don't overthink the cleaning. Squeegee from the top, like this, to the bottom. So I put a lot of extra time into wiping off the top edge because you saw what it, like, look at this. Look at all this shit that came off the top edge. Like, that's a lot of dirt. So I sit there, scrub the top edge, wipe it off with a towel. I've razored it beforehand to get rid of, you know, if there was stickers, crusty bits and whatnot, which, look, this is a really nice, clean car, so there's probably nothing. So squeegee it from the top to the bottom. Sweep it out. Spray it. And then your window's like clean for a really good install. Most of your dirt comes from the install. Yeah, Walmart Tint, so dumb it's genius. I changed the title probably about 4 or 5 times. I tried going like the legal route, and that didn't do anything. I like self-tinting windows, that didn't, people weren't interested in that. Walmart Tint, so dumb, or so dumb it's genius. That title seems to be doing the best. I think the thumbnail's a little lacking though. But I wish I would know that going into making the video, but I still think the title does a pretty good job of describing the video. Yeah, so we talked about the naming of the video for a little while, and I tried some different stuff, including a few suggestions from people that were pretty good, like Walmart. Like adding Walmart and legal or illegal or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was a pretty good title. I just let it sit for a little while and it didn't do much. And that's the tough thing about it. It gets really annoying. You never know what the perfect title for a video is until you let it simmer for a while. And even then, it doesn't need to be necessarily the perfect title for it. Sometimes just a whatever title, it'll seem like, oh, this video is dead. and then eventually it'll pick up traction. They need to simmer for a while. But in the very beginning, it can help a lot if you have the right title. So you never know if YouTube's going to outright kill a video or recommend it to a lot of people. The Black Magic film you did 5 years ago seemed to hit good. Yeah, a lot of those videos seem to do well over time. So I'm not, like, I always try and figure out what a good title is for it, but you can't just reuse the same title as before. Even, like, slightly changing it or having a very inspired title from the last video or the, you know, the last successful version of that video that you did usually doesn't mean that redoing that video in a different way is going to be successful. That's the game, and it really sucks to try and, like, you got to think hard about every title every time you post. If you want a video to hit those types of numbers. But it's still, even with, like, not thinking about the title a lot, even a very descriptive title could potentially still do really well. It just sometimes has to sit for a while. You never know exactly what's going to do well or not. It's all a guessing game. That's one reason I took a hard look at my channel, too, and I was like, if I did one thing for the next 5 years, what do I enjoy doing on YouTube? And it was the live streams, so I don't care that the live streams don't do as well. I have a lot more fun doing these. But it's a nice mix. I do these, and then I'm happy with these because people learn a lot when they watch how to tint through, like, these live streams, and, you know, we figure out problems together and all that. You'll get things out of here that you'll never get out of the videos. But it's a nice change up because I didn't, like, basically, like, oh, if I want to make a successful channel, making silly videos is the way to do it. Like, you don't learn a lot out of the Walmart ones. Do what you enjoy. Yep. As long as you can make it support itself. It was a challenge. I'm trying to get this below the second seal. There's 2 seals here. There it goes. Trying to get below the second one. Yay, you got the stuff? Sweet, thank you.
I did 4 and 4.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. I was just, I realized it was Friday, and I'm like, I don't have any tape, and I'm completely out. And then the carpet shield is always something I like to pick up too.
Do you normally get the carpet shield from Tint too?
Yeah, I usually get them from Lowe's, but I looked at Lowe's, and the price of the house wrap tape went up by $4, so it's the same price. So now it doesn't really matter where we get them from. Home Depot is more convenient. Inflation hit the Lowe's tape. Oh, we got that spam again. More viewers. Yeah, I've seen these spam bots in literally every chat. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh, my mouse is up here. If 5 extra viewers. No, it's the same bot. It's the same bot commented 5 times. It's a compliment. When you have a spam bot, it usually means your channel is doing a good thing because it's getting attention. Linus Tech Tips just went on a big rant about all the spam bots. They're in every chat, every comment section, or like a lot, especially the popular videos and channels, and they do direct replies to people, and they pose as the channels. Channels get really upset about it. I know YouTube's trying to do something about it. They're just really slow at doing anything about it. Dang, look at that. Okay, so this cart, I'm going to say, has been a really good idea. Did you compare Expel to Geo? Not yet. I should, though. Oh. It's back. LKB.
LKB Python's super chatted $2. Best kids show of the 90s is?
Spam alert. Oh, trust me, I don't need a spam alert. I hear everything. I hear it all. It's just nothing but emojis in my ear for the next 5 minutes. Unfortunately, it drowned out LKB with the 2. Best kids show of the 90s. Ooh. Let me think. I'm trying to get like real 90s. Like when you used to see commercials for Nintendo 64 or NES. When was NES versus N64? I used to be so jealous. They would give away Nintendo 64s on like those Nickelodeon shows. Some of the ones that I really remember is going to be off of TV Land, but those were like old shows that we'd watch on replays. And then Nickelodeon, so like Figure It Out, that was a funny one. This is kind of silly, dumb one, but also funny at the same time. There's like the activity ones. Who's the guy that does did the food shows later on? Unwrapped was the TV series. It was an old one. He used to do any of the stuff with like, Nickelodeon. Their thing was slime. I'm trying to think. There was like Guts. And then there was I don't remember. My mom would watch a show called Supermarket Sweep. It was a grocery store game show. Baywatch? No. All That. Oh, I remember All That. Yep. With Danny Tamborelli. Oh God, Kenan Thompson, who's actually on Saturday Night Live. Zoom. Does anybody remember Zoom? Yeah, so I was born in '88. So it was all like Nickelodeon and shows like that in the '90s. And people winning Nintendo 64s. Keenan and Kel, yeah. I don't think so. My parents were pretty conservative, so we weren't allowed to watch quite a few shows. Fresh Prince. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, yep, definitely that. Mark Summers, yep. That's his name. He did the show Unwrapped, which was actually pretty entertaining. At least at the time. It was all like behind the scenes on foods and stuff, how they're made. And the How It's Made channel. When was Mythbusters? When did that start? That had to be like the early 2000s, right? Yeah, Fresh Prince for sure is a good one. The Simpsons. Simpsons, of course. That's a good one. It's just still running, though. It's almost hard to, like, I look at that show in a different way. It's a show that's just still running, as far as I know, right? Kind of like a Family Guy thing, except running way longer than Family Guy. You had good parents. They didn't let you watch Family Guy. That's a bad thing. Come on, Family Guy was funny. The new supermarket sweep sucks. Oh, wait, what? There's a new one? It's going to be incredible. Oh, God, that's really scratching the bottom of the barrel to, like, recreate supermarket sweep. I doubt that show being put on now would do well. It was just, when you have limited things to watch, like, Supermarket Sweep was not a great show. As far as things that we could watch, though, it was okay.
Javier Chavez super chatted $1.99. Hi.
Super chat. Javier with the 2. Hi. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the 2. South Park. Yep. Have you ever had film that felt rubbery and not like glass? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was usually cheaper carbon films. They kind of feel a little rubbery. Alright, how's this thing look? The new South Park episodes are great. Oh, it's another long time running show. Those are those shows that I don't know if I ever will have an end. Probably as long as the voices hang around. There will always be that show. Deadliest. Who? David Goggins. No, I don't know who that is. I remember Mike Rowe from Deadliest Catch and Dirty Jobs and all that. Didn't they bring that back? Oh. Crocodile Hunter. Damn. That's a sad one now. I did watch him. I used to watch a lot of Discovery and Animal Planet. I forgot about that. They remade a lot of old shows. Supermarket Sweep, Card Sharks, name that tune. Oh. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be for a certain audience, but I don't know. You never know until they're on. Oh, yeah. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Oh, that's up there for sure. We watched that. That was one of the ones. And then Rugrats came on and we couldn't watch that. My mom didn't like the look of Rugrats, so she was just like, yeah, turn it off now. Go outside. Same thing for Doug. A lot of those like Nickelodeon animated shows. Oh, so do you know what I watched much later? Malcolm in the Middle. I watched that. That show still holds up today. As good as, better than so many shows. Malcolm in the Middle is hilarious. We never got to watch it when it was out. I knew nothing about it, and then somehow I stumbled across it later on. And man, from the first episode, that show is just so funny. Courage, the Cowardly Dog. Oh yeah. Nope, couldn't watch that one. I watched Name That Tune a few times, never came close to guessing any of those. They play like 5 notes, and someone has to guess it. Sounds like me watching Jeopardy. I don't think I ever get like anything right with Jeopardy. Jeopardy for me isn't even fun to watch. It's just like slow and boring. The more entertaining one was like Wheel of Fortune. But I'm still really bad at those word guessing games too. There can be one letter left in a word and I still won't get it. Yeah. Yeah, watching Malcolm in the Middle wouldn't have flied. Yeah, that's why we never saw it probably. That first episode, you're right. Yeah, and she's like shaving Hal's back. Like, yep. What show is this? Yeah, no. But it's a funny show to like just even put on now and watch the first episode. And it's like that was the pilot episode. Really? Like, it's a little strong for a pilot, but yeah, and then I probably saw it because Bryan Cranston being the dad in that, and then being in Breaking Bad, saw Breaking Bad first, and then started looking into other things that he was in, and then just like, I guess I'll watch a little Malcolm in the Middle, and I'm just like, oh my god, he is perfect in that role too. His back wasn't hairy enough. No, I didn't know that. That's hilarious. They really wanted that beginning, huh? But yeah, seeing him on Breaking Bad and then going back and watching Malcolm in the Middle. And then they even had a short clip much later on where like he woke up in a bed with Lois and like, I had a nightmare where I was like a drug lord or something. And then she was like, oh, just go back to bed. This is all just 90s nostalgia now. Breaking Bad was filmed an hour away from me in New Mexico. Damn, that's cool. That is still one of the best shows. And especially the time that it came out. Like, there's not many shows that can hook that many people to where they're all just waiting for the next week and everybody's talking about it after they happen. Breaking Bad was one of those shows. Game of Thrones was one of that shows for a long time. Okay, so now we got a back window to do. Well, it seemed to work out pretty well. There was a lot less running back and forth. And so this should, we should set these carts up too for this back window, right? Go throw a pizza and waltz up. I think that was a big problem. I know I heard a couple news articles about that after. People would actually do it. I never got into Breaking Bad, couldn't get past the first 10 minutes. There were a lot of slow episodes, especially early on. I do remember there were times that I'm like, okay, this is literally half an hour of Walt coughing. But as the story kind of picks up, it gets really, really good. So now our talk time is shorter. A little bit. My goal was to make people less dizzy. So I'd set something over here and I'd walk back and forth and just miss it. I need it to be a little bit more streamlined. Just knock out some of the stuff that is majorly slowing me down. So hopefully if I can stick to this, it'll make sense. Batman? How about the 60s Batman with Adam West? That was like one of our favorite shows. That came to... So we had like... Somehow we had a bunch of recorded episodes. And whenever we caught... Like, you look at a TV guide... And whenever you saw that they were replaying some of the episodes, like, we would make it a point to actually record them on VHS. Just because we had no other way to watch them. And then one year, it came to TV Land. And man, we would binge that. Like, it was... They played it so much on TV Land. It was great. I never saw Sopranos. Obviously, for the time, probably wasn't allowed to watch it. What do you think about BMW adding monthly subscriptions for heated seats, steering wheel? It's brutal. I wonder if they're gonna go overboard with subscriptions and then they'll back off. Like, they put out a press release, it's all gonna be split, and then they're like, whoa, just kidding. It'll just be one monthly subscription. I don't know. There's like, what are they charging? Like $18 or something for just the heated seats, which is kind of insane. As far as monthly subscriptions, that's significant. Especially for like one feature. So then you got to pay extra for the steering wheel. Like, could you imagine how much more you got to pay for literally everything that you want in your car that it already comes with? It's pretty bad. I think Tesla really kicked off this whole trend though, right? And there's like a handful of car makers that would have things built into the car. They just wouldn't enable them, but it wasn't that much. Tesla really, like $5,000 for like autopilot or something like that. There were things that was just more practical and affordable for the automakers to build them in and try and get you to pay for them later. But I remember on Toyota, they said that they were going to start remote start being a yearly subscription. So that's going to be another one for sure. If they're doing heated seats, I mean. It's like the airline where you buy a ticket and then you buy a seat on the plane. Yeah, all those little ways to nickel and dime you up. I mean, they work. I think I should leave these up here. Maybe out of the drawer. I was about to go walk to the cart. I got a blade right here. I just want a dash cam that comes with a car that's reliable. How are those not a thing that come with a car? You can buy literally a front and back dash camera with cameras for like less than $100. How are they not built into actual systems with recording? Like, then you could like have cloud storage and charge for that. That's probably what they're gonna do next. Oh God! Like literally, take a page out of like Ring's playbook. You go buy the Ring doorbell, and then you pay a monthly subscription to actually use the thing. Those are some of the worst things. See, the question is, though, would you, if you already had one, would you enable it? And then when you go to shop for something, the only way that it'll really stop is if people stop buying the car because of that. But that's always I don't know. You would think that people would just stop buying it over something like that, but when they really like a car, they really like the car, and then they'll just like, hey, I guess I'll just deal with it. Tesla has a built-in dash cam. That's cool. It's sad that it took Tesla to bring a lot of automakers up higher, but that's what good competition does. So either you'll see BMW basically giving lots of automakers permission to do this because their sales won't change, or their sales will change and then they'll go back on making it a subscription and say, hey, we're really sorry about that, blah, 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 blah. It's now included. Computer programs for editing videos is the same way. You pay monthly fees. Yeah and no. Because there's, like, with software, it depends. Because there's video editors that, like, that you have the computer and then you pay monthly from the beginning. It's just an ongoing thing. With software, it's always a little tricky. Because if you're going to pay a fee to buy the software, then monthly shouldn't be a thing. Or you pay monthly to have access to it, and then you depend on updates for it. Yeah, LumaFusion was like a flat 30. You can't use it unless you pay. And then some of them let you try it. But on software, it's tricky because they have to constantly update it too, and the platforms are updating. With cars, it's like you're building it in as a feature, and the car's already expensive. Whatever the cost of that is to maintain, it's just and make it in your price. Don't charge somebody monthly for it. But it's a way to really break into the subscription because it's such a, you know, when you got millions of cars on the road and you do something like that, it's just like a giant revenue boost. And then you can tweak it a lot of ways if you're walling off actual features that are already in the car. Then people start getting into what? Jailbreaking their own cars. Didn't Sony and Microsoft do something like that for their consoles? Yeah, that's kind of annoying. That's actually I'd say a really big problem too. You can use their consoles, but then if you want access to multiplayer, you got to pay extra for that. I think that's really terrible. The only interesting thing about the consoles, though, is they actually sell them at basically a break even or a loss because they just want to get in your home, and then they'll charge you 60 times over for games and services and all this other stuff. Microsoft also changed. Oh, it is white. I didn't know that. I thought it was blue. Microsoft also changed to Xbox as a service, so they actually make the consoles really, really cheap, and then they try and get you on like Game Pass or something. I thought this stuff was blue. This is actually white. That's kind of awesome. If I can get it started. This is Tyvek. I haven't tried it, but it's house wrap tape, so I'm guessing it's not going to be hardly any different. I think it's also a little bit wider, too. Nope, just kidding. It's the same. I heard Nintendo, like, you have to pay for their online subscription if you want to save games cross line or whatever. If you want to save games, like, that's kind of terrible. Yeah, Tyvek's good. Tyvek's a pretty legit house wrap. How many cars can you do in a day if you don't get distracted? Just wondering. I would plan on an hour and a half per car. Like, to give myself a comfortable amount of time, it's 2 hours. That's for all the sides and the rear. Plan an hour for doors, 2 hours per car, a little extra time for windshields. So whatever your day runs, that's usually a good thing to shoot for. So in a day, I don't know, from 9 to 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nonstop. It would generally be about like 4 full cars, maybe a couple sets of doors. Like, sets of doors don't take an hour, but when you plan an hour, it gives you a little bit of padding time to like leave it out in the parking lot for a minute, pull it in, get it done, and like it gives you a little bit of a buffer. That was generally a good, oh my God, the mouse is up here, but I keep reaching down there. Watch some of his old streams. He did 5 or 6 on a stream before. Yeah. I don't do that anymore. I'm an owner now. I just take my sweet time. Okay, one thing's for sure. This is way more annoying to unwrap. Yeah, I used to work for shops. I used to hustle around, and I didn't have any more than an hour and a half for most jobs. You just get used to it. I mean, you watch this and you're like, damn, you take 3 hours per car, you're slow. It's like, yeah, I don't have to rush. It's nice. And you probably make more, just as much. Yeah. But there's other expenses too, so my goal is like really like 1,000 a day, and I definitely don't always hit that because I don't necessarily try to, but that's kind of like, okay, that's like my main source of income. I want to shoot for 1,000 a day, and if I hit 500-600, that's still a decent day. 1,000's really nice though. But for me, that's like a couple ceramic jobs. It'd be 3 regular cars. So it's like there's a lot of room there. I forgot. This one doesn't really have a good way of coming out. You mean profit? No, I just mean like 1,000 in work a day. Because then you got room to pay for everything. How much for taxes? Whatever your state recommends. So like here we have a 6% sales tax. But you got, so it depends on how many you can do, obviously what your overhead is. You know, so if you're, like, my overhead now is going to be $3,400 a month here. That's now more significant. I have to do more cars to cover that. But I try not to think that way. Yeah, so my work schedule was literally like show up by 6. I'd usually show up a little later, and the car would be pulled in, and it would just be, okay, here's a full car. It's getting 20 on the back, 35 on the front. Okay, cool. Just wheel my cart in, have a couple boxes of film, put on some music, and just get it done. And then once that one's done, in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, hey, we got a set of doors. Okay, that one's done in half hour, 45 minutes. Hey, we got another full car for you to do. This one's 5% complete, full windshield. So then it would take me two-ish hours to do on something like that. Pull in the next one. And you can see, like, I just pretty much worked throughout without taking lunch breaks. And I'd usually wind up with, like, on a comfortable day, it'd probably be like 3-4 full cars, a couple sets of doors, maybe 2-3 sets of doors, maybe another windshield or 2 thrown in there too. That'll make it really busy. Wrap up by 5:30. How do I get in with a shop like that? You start asking around. It's not hard. There's a lot of companies that would love to just make more money. And when you show up and you're like, hey, would you like to make more money? I can make you more money. They're like, yes. So this one, literally, like, they just lost their other tinter. I was tinting there. And then I left to do this place full time, which is my place, if anybody's confused. It's I was still tinting there a couple days a week, though, while I was getting this place going. And then it came that time where I'm putting off too many appointments here. But I was still making good money there. But then finally it's like, okay, now I know I can let go of that other space. And then I went here full time. Just pulling these two. Ooh, I like this. This is nice. But yeah, they found like another guy that could tint, and they were paying him hourly. Because he could also do some glass work, but he mostly did window tint. So he would milk the clock. If he had 2 cars for the day, he would only do those cars. And he would make sure he took all day. He got them by for a little while and then had a falling out with them recently. So he is there no more. And then they asked me, like, hey, would you want to come back a day a week? I'm like, sorry, I can't. So there's a Symbol Auto Glass over in Shelby Township. They're still looking for a guy. There's a lot of shops like that where they want to pull in more work, but they just can't find a tinter. They're in other automotive businesses, and what they find is they can generally only pull in so much work for one tinter. So they have a hard time hanging on to somebody full time. So they're real good, though, if you don't want to have your own business, or if you like having a little less responsibility. They just want the work done right, though. So, you know, you got to put out good work, and they'll keep you busy. They'll keep you busy for at least 2 to 3 days a week, more often than not. Oh, yeah, your wife's Filipino. Do you have any Filipino dishes that you like to eat? Oh, yeah, we have Filipino food almost every day. I now eat 100% with a spoon in my right hand and a fork in my left hand. And it's weird to eat any other way. It makes the most sense if you're ever going to eat rice to have a spoon instead of chopsticks or a fork. And, I forgot. She's actually making sisig today, which is awesome. Sisig's one of my favorites. Another favorite that I just don't hardly ever have is beef tapa. I love the breakfast. Breakfast foods are always my favorite, and I feel like I was not a big rice person, but out of all the rices, white rice is cool. I like white rice. So like it's very normal to have like a meat, an egg, and white rice. So white rice for me is kind of like the hash browns. It's not quite as hash browns, obviously, but so like beef tapa, white rice, and an egg is one of my favorites. Balut? Yeah, balut's gross. I've had it one time. I was more on a dare. I felt like if I'm to be accepted in Filipino culture, I have to do this at least one time, but I will never do it again. It's really gross. Milkfish, that's pretty good too. They call that bangos. But yeah, all the main dishes that we usually have. So there's like pancit, caldereta, bulalo. Oh, trying to think. Sinigang. I can visualize it right now. I'm trying to think of the name. It's like ground beef, potato, and some other stuff in it too. We have it all the time. Can't remember the name offhand. I'll remember it in a little bit. But yeah, Filipino food's really good. It's like, so it's not American, but it's like, it comes close enough where like there's some familiar tastes, and it's not as like, it's not as foreign. So there's some dishes like, you know, pork adobo, chicken adobo. There's a lot of things that like, oh, no, this is really good. I don't need to like develop a taste for this. It just outright is good. Where did my screen go? Okay. Basmati rice is good. We usually get jasmine rice. I don't know if we've had basmati rice, but I hear good things about that too. But yeah, we buy it by 50-pound bags. We make white rice every day. Ooh, I forget about the barbecue too. Yeah, like Filipino street food's really good. You can just get like barbecue skewers. Always good. I have a question about the Lowe's tape. What's it called? It's called Lowe's tape. No, okay, so it's called house wrap tape. Lowe's is just another brand. I just picked up Tyvek tape because now they're the same price. So Lowe's tape, Tyvek, they're called house wrap tapes or sheathing tapes. This is what the Tyvek looks like. But the Lowe's tape you can find at Lowe's. I would just search online first, and then it'll tell you with their store locator if it's nearby or not. Both jasmine rice is awesome. What's the difference between basmati rice and jasmine rice? Since you've had both. Because when we get a bag of rice, we either get like a 20-pound, 25-pound, or a 50-pound. So it's like, it's a commitment. I don't want to get a bunch of rice if we're not gonna like it as much. So I'm just curious. Ew. I'm gonna throw this one out. Just like gunk all over that rag. Probably from like a glue removal or something. I just got done with the world's worst back bubble window. Ugh. Congrats, man. You've been doing that probably this whole time, right? I don't envy that. Best tools for beginning window tinter. All right, I got a couple links for you. Tint Depot. Sun Distributing. So those are recommendation pages. They've got basically everything that I use listed on them. Also, tint stuff. That has all the little extras like the specialty green tools that I use. But you can find everything on those two first links that I listed. I don't really think like getting a $20 Amazon toolkit is necessarily like, because you can save some money and just not buy everything that you need, but like a full tool set is around like $250 to $300. That's like everything. So you can pick and choose what you really want to use. But the main things are going to be like a quality handled squeegee. So that's this guy. So you buy the handle. So the handle can be cheap, but the squeegee blade should be like a fusion blade. Or the Blue Max. You should get a tucking tool. You should have a red dot knife with stainless blades. You should have a felt card. You should have honestly, a tri-edge. You can get a few of these because they're worth having. Like they're like $3 to $5 per. So you might as well have a few of them because they start to wear out over time. And then that's what you need to tint most door windows alongside of a heat gun like this $25 Wagner one. For a back window, there'd be a couple more. But yeah, you don't need all this craziness. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? '08 DTS, all the sides in the rear would start at $290. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're at Mound Road near 18 Mile. We're off a little side street called Gatewood. So the earliest I could get you in would be Monday if you're interested in scheduling. Yeah, no problem. So you can go as dark as you want on the rear doors and back glass. The front two windows, generally the lighter you are, the safer you are, but nothing's legal on the front two doors except the top 4 inches of the windows without a doctor's note. That's what a lot of people end up doing, yeah. If you're going to go with something that you like. Yeah, it's really kind of a weird law. It's literally the top 4 inches of the window. It's not very helpful for anybody. I don't know why it's made that way, but it's been that way for years and years. Oh, for sure. I tint front doors, and, like full windows, full windshield, and generally we just end up, most people put like a 20 or a 35% on the front doors. It just depends on what you want to go with. Yeah, we're open tomorrow. I just booked up tomorrow, so I could get you in early next week. Yeah, it'll take 2.5. That car, it'll probably take 2.5 to 3 hours to do. So we've got a waiting area if you want to hang out, but it's a long time for some people, so dropping it off is always recommended too. Uh-huh. Yeah, that'd be no problem. Alrighty, sounds good. Bye. Do you have squeegee handles back on your site? No, not yet. The handles, yeah, those handles are nice, inexpensive handles. These ones are amazing handles. These are the Fusion handles, but now I think they're like $30. So doing window tinting full time, $30 is like, yeah, it's whatever, especially because it's not something that you typically lose, and you're not wearing out the squeegee handle either. So it's such a good squeegee handle. It'll last you forever. I paid $25 a couple weeks ago. That's good. I think literally last time I checked it was $30, but I don't know. Maybe it changed again. But I want to say it was $30 last I looked. That inflation, man, it hits quick. I know they used to be 25. Because, so there's some things, like, you don't need an amazing handle for your squeegee blade. You just don't. You need something to hold it. So is it nice to have a $30 squeegee handle? For sure. I don't know, maybe it is. But anyways. Yeah, the handle and Blue Max that I have, yeah, both of those are really good. So the difference is just, that's a really good option. This is what I think is a little bit better option. So I just like to use what I think is the best. Because it's like, if I swap it out for anything, like, I'm always trying some stuff, but then I get a lot of comments where people think, like, oh, I see you completely switched now. What happened to that other thing? I just bought it. It's like, no. That thing still is really good. Sometimes I completely switch to something else, but it's not as common. All right. So I'm going to wipe this down. Looks good, though. Yeah, I'm going to say those carts. That's an awesome idea. I think that's the ticket right there. You got to train yourself to put things back. So this belongs on the other side. That's a hard thing to do. And my cart is mostly just the main stuff, the main little odds and ends that I use. So I always have a tool belt with like my main squeegees and all the stuff that I keep on hand. But as far as back window tools, those I always have in a toolbox, and I always got to run to the toolbox to get that stuff. So just having some of these little extra things here. I'm going to also mark these. I'm going to mark which one goes on which side so I know when we put them back. Yep, this is my glass cleaning towel. So I can throw this up here, let it dry. Awesome. I'd say that was a pretty good deal here. I just got to slow down too and think about it a little bit more. Okay, and then, all right, we need this guy. So this is probably one of the most simple brake lights that I've pulled in a long time for a BMW. It has that extra blue clip. But it didn't have any of the side things. It was just, it's all one molded piece. Usually it's separate. There's like a cover, and then the rest of it comes out. My sister organized my kitchen years ago, and it still is amazed that everything is where she left it. The trick is to just put it back where it came from. I know. Because it's always those little, like, oh, I'll just put it here for now. And then everything piles up. And then my cart, that table, like, they're a mess. And I hate it. But then it's all, to me, it's all useful stuff. So then I have a hard time organizing it again. So I've always been bad at cleaning up after myself and organizing, but I'm trying to do better. And at this point, I settled in here like a lot, so I don't have many excuses anymore. And I just like, I could really feel it with every stream, like as I get everything kind of like, you know, we've got a good program here. It's pretty quick for me to set up now. But the excuses that I don't, like, I don't have a good excuse for literally like setting something down, forgetting where I put it, and then making everybody dizzy trying to find it. Like, where is it? Here, here, here. And then it adds like half an hour to like 45 minutes worth of time just to find something that I had 2 seconds ago. So that's the goal of those. And then I think today it did pretty well. Somebody mentioned a trash can too. I think it would be a real smart idea to put a little trash bag on the side of it too. I like the idea of one being for clean rags and one being for dirty rags. Having another little spot to put trash rather than those cans, I think would probably be the ticket. Because I threw like a couple liners in that. It was nice. It's like, oh, having my trash nearby would probably be a good thing. But yeah, so that's all good. Sweet. We can take this roll, we can put it back. That's gonna be the theme now. Let's put stuff back. Especially because, like, all that looks really good now. So I wanna make all this stuff really, really clean now and have it stay that way. That was nice. I like that a lot. These carts are sweet. What's up?
Nothing. Pretty much done. How are the carts working?
What's that?
How are the carts working?
Carts are good. Yeah, I'm happy with them. I seem to put stuff back where it's supposed to go. So that's a good thing, at least for this car.
Sweet.
I mean, they definitely work well. They're easy to move around. They're a really good height to sit next to as well. So, yeah, just sitting there and move it back, do the back window. Everything's on both sides. It was nice, real nice. Yeah, man.
You got anything else to do? Like,
No, you're all good for today. And it's Friday. Oh, do you have that receipt too? Are you cool for the weekend, or do you want me to just?
no, it's all good.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I was looking at the price of the carpet shield. I was like, oh shit, that's getting expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tack this on to your check though.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Okay. You don't need me to stick around for anything else?
Nope, all good, man.
All right. Okay, sounds good.
All right, you have a good weekend, okay?
Yeah, you too, man. See you Monday.
See ya.
Oh, over here on this table,
Yeah.
like stuff I didn't know what to do with it, so
Okay.
like, yeah, whatever.
Oh damn, this is a lot more. It's even more cleaner back here too.
A little bit.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
It'll get better. But yeah.
It's come a long way. It looks like a lot of things have a home now, so it's good. Oh, even the carts are cleared. That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, see you Monday.
All right, see you, man. Cannon. Don't tack it on his check. He gets screwed on taxes that way. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I will make sure to do that. I'll handle it separately. Give him cash or something. Because usually I just give him the card. And then I didn't think of... he was already gone running to the post office. And then it's like, oh, he's going to be right over there by Home Depot. I need a couple of things. And now they're here. All those things that I'm like, I forgot. It seems like there's 100 of those things, and that's what he makes up for. So he helped put all the carts. He put the carts together this morning, and I was getting done some other jobs, which obviously I couldn't do both at the same time. So I'd be working on those literally right now, but instead they were all put together by the time this car came in, right for the stream, and then we get to try them out. Yay! It's just help is nice. I'm trying to use it. There's definitely some times where I'm like, I've literally got nothing for him to do. But I'm trying to keep him busy. You can write a separate check as a gift. I'll just give him cash. It's fine. Is that your brother? No, his name's Jack. He's been helping out. He's the new hire. He's been around now since the last class. He seems to do a pretty good job of finding stuff to do. Actually, yeah. Yeah, like he's always trying to do something. And so when there's nothing to do, he's like, he's got the like regular stuff, and then he's looking for extra stuff to like clean up. He's always looking to keep himself busy. That is such a rare quality in a lot of people. You usually don't find people that are just like, hey, yeah, I'm here to do a job, and I'm just going to do it well. So, yeah, he's been working out great. I mean, look at that. No painting experience, no wall patching experience, and I'm like, all right, I don't have a lot for you to do right now, so I need you to learn how to patch some holes and just do your best. And then so he spent a week basically doing that and then working on painting the walls, and now the whole back and the whole side is all patched up and cleaned up. And it just never would have gotten done any other way. Yeah, like look how nice that is. It looks so clean now. So then I'm looking at that and I'm like, that makes this area feel trashy now. So now I have to clean this up. If there's ever a day he has nothing to do, have him polish the floors and the ceilings. It seems like there's always kind of some stuff to do, and he's just, he didn't have a super fun job before, And so now this is all just like, I mean, it's pretty, you can see it's really chill here. So to hang out here and get paid for like whatever, it's not a bad deal. Very great appearance for customers too. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a big part of it. Now I want to extend the floor a little bit. It's expensive though. What is that sitting there? Oh. Alrighty. So how long was that? 2 hours, 51 minutes. I don't think it saved us. No, that's pretty in line. 2 hours and 51 minutes, completely live for the whole thing. I always feel like, I felt like it would save more time. I think it did. I think it did save time. It's just, no matter what I do, I always seem to have a 3-hour live stream without doing the windshield. It's the placebo. Just do the whole shop floor. I'd love to. It'd be very expensive though. This is like, I probably have another 2,000-ish square feet to cover. I don't know. What'll that be? It'll be anywhere to like probably about $6,000 to $8,000 worth of flooring to put on. I'm just not ready to do that. I always hate when that happens. Yeah, it's race deck flooring. It's just snapped together like plastic tiles. They look really good. It was always one of those little things that I wanted to add in a shop. So in like a 2-car garage, it wasn't too expensive to do the garage. And then when I put it here, I definitely need to make the spot bigger. But then, you know, you look at contrast with the rest of the floor and you're like, damn. But they're at least like epoxied floors though, so they look nice and clean. They get a little shine to them. Carlos did his for $15,000. Oh yeah. Yep, it's expensive stuff, man. You gotta really be committed to putting it down. But, you know, you feel a world different when you do it to your whole floor. Try to get a sponsor or something, a brand deal with the company so we can have discounts for floors. I can always ask. That's true, though. Because sometimes you can get, like, I don't know, through those companies, sometimes you can get, like, a 15 or 20% discount, possibly. When there's more money like that in flooring and you're sending people over there. If you pay $15K, just buy a piano. All right, I got the client here. 1 second. Looks nice, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Turned out really good. Just wrapped it up.
Yeah, it looks pretty tight, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it'll still need a few days to dry.
Okay.
So this moisture that you see, like these little wavy, streaky, like that's moisture in between the foam and the glass. So that all just needs a little bit of time to dry.
Okay.
So I'll give you some care instructions, and I'll throw some tape over the switches, but basically we'll leave the windows out for a few days.
Okay.
To give it that time to dry out. How do you like the shade?
It's very nice, man. And it's the same, right? It's the same all around.
Yep. Just the front lets in a little bit more light with that windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll lighten up the front just a little bit
you said all this stuff will like eventually like clear out, right? Like,
Yeah, so the dotted edges will still appear white. They're a little bit uneven right now because there's water filling them in.
Sure.
But on the quarter windows and on the back window, that's what they just tend to do because they're raised ceramic dots. But yeah, all like the cloudiness and stuff like that. So it's also has to do with the lighting too.
Sure.
So as soon as I pull it out, it'll sharpen up too.
Right on. Is this your own shop?
Yep.
Like, how long have you been out here?
A couple years ago.
Right on. Is the construction impacting the business?
Not really. It just makes it harder to find.
Yeah.
More annoying because like they keep opening and closing that entrance off of Mountain Road. But being that I'm tucked back here anyways, I that's honestly most people that I have come in here. Not everybody, but most people. They're pretty easygoing. You know, they're thankful, especially when you show little extra detail and stuff like that. You spend time to talk to them about a couple little things and just, you know. That. Oh shit. Spoke too soon. Some people just want to leave. Yeah, here too. Key is here. Always walk out with a tool and a towel. Cool. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was going to have to let him know, and then literally showed up at a great time. Popped on in, and rather than just run off stream, figured I'd keep it on that much. He actually had no idea that the thing was being streamed too. So, but I told him about the channel. Yeah, I know you guys were talking. I usually have to put the earpiece down, but it really wasn't that bad. But you, it must be a Michigan thing. Some people in Indiana just want to leave ASAP. No, you can. I think I probably talk too much to clients, and I'm one of those people that tend to go to like a self checkout. I'm not super outgoing, and interacting with people, I always have to kind of force myself to try and be a little bit more like bright, upbeat when I'm talking to people, because it's nice to just kind of turn everything off and focus on the car. But when you're forward facing and in customer service, then you have to, I think, be a little bit more cheery and stuff. You just want to appear very welcome, or you just want to be very welcoming. So in all that, I spend a little extra time on their cars, and I just like them to, you know, kind of know that, like just that there was extra care put into their car. So during the checkout process, I don't try and make it drag on very long. But as I'm typing things up, I'll try and talk to them a little bit, rather than just seem really cold. And then sometimes people are really open about their cars and just like, yeah, I just got it, or, you know, was moving down, like whatever the case, you know, just drum up some sort of conversation. So we're not here for a very long time, and some people are just, you know, they just want to get a move on. But I've noticed with just the types of people that I attract, they're usually a little bit more into their cars, and people that are into their cars like to talk about their cars a little bit too. So I always make that a little open, even though I don't know too much. I see lots of different cars, but as far as like little trims and differences and stuff, I don't know any of that. Super chat.
Meeks 419 super
Meeks.
chatted $4.99.
Aw, thanks for the 5, man.
Hey Matt, I'm getting ready to tint a 2013 Ram 1500. Is there anything important that I need to watch out for?
1,500. No, actually on a 13 Ram, you'll be fine. It wasn't until there was a model change in like 18, 19. That's when everything had the BCM issues. Rams will be really straightforward though. So you'll be all good on that one. Thank you for the 5. Do you need to have a certain number of subscribers to live stream? Not off of just using a computer. You should be able to just no, you can verify your account and you can live stream. There's a couple little things off of doing it directly from a GoPro, and I don't know why that is. So like if GoPro lets you stream to YouTube, but in order to stream to your YouTube channel off of a GoPro, it's just some weird thing with GoPro and YouTube integration that requires you to have at least 1,000 subs. I don't know, it's kind of dumb. But right off of a computer, you don't need 1,000 subs to stream. You can you verify your account. So it's literally like, I think a phone number. Like you go into YouTube Studio, so you go into your account, and then you look at the side settings and then verify your channel. Like it's really easy. Or you can look up a how-to. Really, really easy for that. What do you think about the Orange Crush squeegee? It's a good squeegee. It's definitely one of the tinter favorite ones. So like the flat out, the yellow one, the Orange Crush, that orange one. It's a really, really good squeegee. After about a month of solid use, the only thing I didn't like was that it seemed to leave almost like eraser streaks on the window. So they would wipe off, but it was like some extra cleaning, like almost like a squeegee mark. It didn't damage the film, but it would just, as it starts to wear out, it would do that. I like the hybrid better. Are you going to close the door? No, I'm all set for today, so I'm going to hop off here in a minute. Then I'm going to head home. So it's nice. Look at that. Look, see, we got green back here. It's all clean. Pricing mistake on website, Pro Nano Ultra 50 foot, same price as 100 foot. That wasn't my mistake if that's the case. I'm going to check on that one though. Better go buy some Pro Nano Ultra pretty quick. 50% discount apparently. I don't know, I didn't set it. Let me see. You get that Altoid can? No. Where do they even sell Altoids? What, for the clay bar? Both $480. Oh, so it's more expensive? Oh, I thought it would. Let me see. What size is that? 50 foot. Oh, wait, no. There's Pro Nano, and then there's Pro Nano Ultra, which is the 70. Yeah. Oh, that's goofy. I'm going to say that's probably wrong. $480 divided by 2. They have them in just about any checkout section. Oh, do they still? I just never noticed. Oh, you're probably right with all like the gum and stuff. You know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'll message Burns and I'll ask him about that. He'll make a change. I'm worried to make a change on my end. I was about to go buy a couple rolls if it was 50% off. Yeah, that's honestly what I thought. I don't know how that mistake happened, but it wasn't my fault. Thank you for letting me know, though. I would never have noticed that. It's $240 on Geo's website. Oh, okay. I'm just going to change it then. All right, never mind. I'm just going to do it. That's worth doing right now. This is one of those things that I'll forget about. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it was half and it wasn't like $300 or something. Okay. There we go. Should be fixed now. I hope there's no sync issues with that. That would suck. I like those carts, though. That was nice. I'm really happy. I thought I'd have to get different baskets, too, but I think the baskets are pretty okay, too. They're a little bit too long, but you can still shove them side by side, and then they kind of tilt, and I like that. That's good. I didn't even check their site. Maybe you're lying. No, the 70% Ultra is awesome. So I just did a Model Y windshield on Wednesday. So we had done ceramic on this Model Y, and then he didn't do the windshield. He's halfway through the summertime, and he's like, man, I think I'd really like a windshield. And so he actually had to come back in this morning because one of the door windows was peeling up in the top corner because it was just a little bit long. I didn't catch it, but it started to peel a little bit in the corner. So I told him to bring it back this morning, redid it, and I was asking about the windshield, and he was very, very happy with it. He's just like, oh my God, it's an immediate difference. It's always hard to describe. Once you drive with ceramic, you don't want to drive with anything else but ceramic. But will my car still get hot? Yeah, when it's sitting out the sun, it can still get hot. It's just, it makes driving way more comfortable. Kind of have to live with it to really, really understand that, though. Guess I should have said 50. Yeah, right? $24 is only 100 feet, but 36. Yep. So the thing is, about like the 24-inch rolls, there's some sizes that don't make sense for them to discount. And they sit on the shelf a lot longer. So every time somebody orders a 50-foot roll, just know that people are doing extra work to fulfill it. They appreciate your business very much, but it is extra work because they literally have to put the roll. Okay, so the way that you get film is in 60-inch or 72-inch sizes now, and then you cut those logs down to 36-24, 36-36, depending on the size of that. and then they're 100-foot rolls. So then you have to unwind onto a separate core 50 feet, and then you at least have two 50-foot boxes, and you gotta set up extra boxes and stuff like that. But there's extra work that goes into all of those, and they keep it the same price. Literally just like a 50% discount on it. So when it comes to like the 24-inch rolls and just some smaller sizes, it just doesn't make sense for them to do. They don't want to be like, they would really slow things down to have to do that with all the short rolls as well. So it makes sense when they're a little bit bigger, because it's not going to be like, 10, 20, 20-inch rolls or something like that. I got Lexan on right now, so I can't wait to see the clarity difference. Yeah, let us know. I always like to hear what people think of it after they've played around with both. You don't really know until you've used both of them. So you're taking my word for it when you just use Geo, but you're going to really like it. But if you've played around with some other, like a hazier film, and then you put on a better film, you'll really see a difference. It's a nice comparison. Even my Pro Classic on 35 on a windshield and 20 on the doors and 20 on the back does an amazing job of making the temperature of my truck not as hot. So yeah, even dyed film. Like dyed film doesn't block out the IR heat, so like you can still feel the sun. But what it does do is like 20% is going to block some of the light, right? So it's going to be a little bit cooler still. It's just not blocking out IR specifically. And it also cuts down a lot of the glare, which is part of the irritation. So it's like heat is part of it, and just how bright everything is also like it adds up together. So you're just like, oh, God, bright sun, heat, and whatnot. So when you at least cut down the glare by a significant amount, it just makes everything more comfortable. It's just not as irritating. So yeah, like dyed film sometimes gets a really bad rap. Dyed film's awesome. It just has to be made well. And it's the cheapest, crappiest film out there. Like, it's the most common way to make cheap film, I should say. So there's a lot more junk dyed film than there is high quality dyed film. But when you have a good one, it's real simple. It's easy to work with. It looks good, and it should last for a very long time if it's made right. Give us a studio tour? I mean, I could really quick. I probably got to get going, though. 2 seconds. All right. And then I'll end. GoPro. Are we good? Okay, we have a little battery. Yeah, so I can just give a little update how things are coming along. It's nothing super crazy. I think the door is going to be blown out, though, because of the way I have the GoPro set up. So it's probably just going to be super white, and you can't really see much of what's outside. The camera's not going to adjust for it. But most of what's going on is all in here. So this all got cleaned up. There was a lot of trash. The walls were dirty. That all got painted. We put trim along the bottom. Probably have a little bit more to do on that. He's going to sweep and mop up in here. But yeah, we just moved all the shit. We put it in here. And he's busy organizing everything back here. He doesn't have a lot of space to work with, but like that's kind of the point. I was like, I think you can just figure out ways to store stuff back here for now, and then I'll put stuff back there, but I don't want it to be in the same way. I just want it to make sense. So he's got all like the Geo film boxes. So this is all the main film that I use. This is extra film. This is all like supplies and tools and whatever junk like paint and lighting and just extra stuff laying around. He said he wasn't sure where to put any of this stuff, so that's all on the table for now. And then we have some carts, grocery cart, tiles, other shelving for here, so we're going to put some of that up. The Workhorse 1, extra things. What, washer and dryer? No, the washer and dryer, that's actually for my house. We just bought that a while ago, so we're going to have to move that out of here. So that'll be out of here pretty soon. Actually, next week. And then this is where he puts all the tools and stuff together. So not a lot to put all that stuff together, which is nice. Easy peasy. And then that's a roundabout shop tour. This is up front though. So this is all customer seating area. Heat box. I show basically everybody that. Unless they're already coming in and talking about ceramic, because then I'm like, I don't really feel the need to show them the differences between the film because they're going to feel it on their car, but, you know, it's there. Coffee station, coffee and snacks. All the films that I install, so Pro Classic, Carbon, Ceramic, all the shades that you can get in each one of those films, except there's a few more in Carbon that I don't have up there. Like a 40 and a 15% are also there. I'm working on a windshield display, so this will be for hydrophobic coatings. So I just mounted a windshield on the wall. I have a spray keg here, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far. I still have a Christmas tree from the wintertime because I like it. I like the octagons. Thank you. Yeah, it's a nice little touch here. I was trying to figure out something that filled up a lot of wall space and looked interesting but wasn't super hard to do. And this fit the bill. I looked at what a lot of streamers do. So I had the display board sitting on the wall, but I didn't so I left those there and it was just a white wall. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's nice, I guess. But then with enough searching, came across stuff like this. And I was like, oh, that'd be easy enough to do. Put that up there. Oh, no. Canon. Good timing. Yep, that's fine. That's the end of the tour. That's literally it, though. So I've got like a junky back closet here. So that's just like extra storage and stuff that I have to, or I'm going to have Jack clean it up. That'll probably be the next project. Most of this stuff is almost all set. And you could hear him too. It's funny the way he talks about it. He's like, yeah, it's okay. I can make it look better though. And it's like, I appreciate that. Because like, he doesn't necessarily think that he's doing a good job with stuff that he doesn't really know, but he's trying his damnedest. And that's all I need you to do. I need you to care about what you're doing. And the rest of it will work itself out. Like, is he a master drywall person? No. But I didn't need somebody to do a perfect job on those walls. I just needed them to look way better than they do now. And they do. They look super good. And then putting the carts together, doing all the orders. It's like all these regular stuff that it just adds up on my schedule. It's so nice having him around. He's really, really helpful. How many square foot total? It's 3,200. Yeah, because that was really funny about like patching drywall. Because he was pretty apprehensive. It was like one of the first things that I had him do. And I was like, I learned most of what I need to do off of YouTube, and you just kind of fail into it. I don't need you to do a perfect job. I just need them to look better. And like, if everything goes terribly, then I'll have somebody else, I'll like pay somebody to do it, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to manage. And he did. So, like, anything like that. And, like, I didn't even tell him where to put stuff in the back. It's just, I don't know. I just want it to look more organized. So spend some time back here. This is where I think the film at least should go. And then the rest of it kind of, like, it just needs to look cleaner. So if you spend enough time back there, you'll probably figure it out. And, like, he's way farther along than I thought at the end of today. It's like, oh, that stuff just got done. Having help is nice. Who would have thought? Paying somebody else to do the job. I learned how to I learned how to patch drywall as an angry teenager. Had to fix holes I punched in the wall before my dad got home. Yep, he wasn't sure. And like, so, you know, I guess most places when you work for somebody, like, you can have grumpy bosses and they expect you to know how to do stuff and whatever, but this is very much just like, I don't know. If I ask you to do something and I know that you tell me, oh, I have no idea how to do it, like, do I expect it's going to be perfect the first time you do it? No. So that's fine. Just try and figure it out as best you can, and then we'll go from there. The main things that I need help with is like literally tidying up and orders, and then from the rest of it, we'll figure it out from there. So it's going to be phone calls. It's going to be getting back to clients and stuff. So I got to run through them with that. But he's honestly freed up enough time just handling that type of stuff that now I can focus on the other stuff that I need to do. Alrighty. So, super chats. Thank you so much. Meeks, Javier, LKB. Thank you guys so much for the support today. I really appreciate it. Everybody is getting their orders faster? Yeah, actually. Monday through Friday. It's just next day, or same day or next day. You know, it just usually goes out in the morning. So yeah, everything. When I was fulfilling orders, sometimes I'd get like 2-3 days behind. I'd try not to get any more than that, but when things got really busy, it got really hard. But I would still get them all done. But now it's something I can go home, not have to worry about, and everybody's happier for that. Mine was next day. It was nice. Cool. Yes. Good. Glad to hear it. Alrighty, my dudes. Next stream. We'll see about tomorrow. I mean, the guy did say he watched the channel, so I think tomorrow has a nice opening for it. I haven't booked as much from this point as I maybe thought I would. It seems to like build up a buffer and then slow back down and then build up a buffer again. So I really didn't get hardly any phone calls today, so I should probably stream tomorrow. I got time to do that. I think it's a Sierra with a windshield, so we can probably do that tomorrow. Alrighty, my dudes. Thank you for hanging out today. It'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow, too, Eastern time. Motor Shield Pro? I don't know, actually. My sample went missing. I'm sad. They commented on a Walmart video and said, ours does 99% IR. And I was like, oh, and then I ordered it. And I unboxed it a little bit, and then I know I set it down around here, and I don't know where it is. Maybe it's at home, but I thought it was here. Anyways, all right. See you guys. I might be here tomorrow. If I am, it's going to be around 10:30. Bye.